Hi, so we're here today with Marta F, and we're going to be discussing the Ayurveda Life Mastery Program. And specifically, Marta, I really wanted to have this conversation with you today specifically because I know you were interested in taking the program not only for personal growth, but possibly for professional enhancement. So I thought that would be interesting for the folks that are maybe considering the program, that are on the fence if they want to do this for a career, or if this is more for personal growth, like that. So how about if we have you start by just letting us know where your life was at before you started the program?
Yes, Tracy, thank you for having me. Well, before the program, I was looking for a more meaningful course to do in my life because I took several courses more on healing, working with energy, and all what involves the coaching part, but more like psychological. Then I was lacking the body physical part. And I was researching and then talking with my uncle and knowing about the old ancient medicines that I've been always interested. I found Ayurveda. And I think I saw your school before, like a few years before signing in. And well, at that time, it was not possible for me, for my job. I was doing tour guiding. And then when I finally got the time, because I decided to live in California, I signed up and I was so excited because I knew that work for so many people as a medicine. And yeah, I was very excited to start this whole science that's Ayurveda. It's so much that cannot be described in one word for me. Yeah, that's when for me was the starting point to the wall of Ayurveda.
Okay, great. So it sounds like you, for a few years already, had been studying, been knowing about the school, and for a long time even you had been interested in ancient medical sciences and ancient systems of wisdom. You know, things like spiritual system, things like that, I'm guessing. Is that right?
Yes, Tracy. Since high school, I wanted to study medicine. It's just that Western medicine was far behind of what I was looking for. Something didn't resonate as right. And then researching and knowing all what Western medicine approaches, I realized that was not my type, and I made a good decision studying biology at that time. And yeah, until I discovered Ayurveda with your school, and I'm so grateful for that.
Hey, well, we're so grateful that you did too. Well, and your story is probably not so unique in the sense that maybe you were interested in medicine and helping other people, but you just something with Western medicine didn't feel quite right. 'Cause I know I can relate to that. I'm sure we're not the only ones out there, you know. So that's interesting. What were your interests? So what were you doing? You said you were a tour guide, so you had traveled quite a bit because you're originally from Spain, and you had been traveling as a tour guide. What were your interests and what were you doing at that time before school started?
Yes, before I started, it's when I decided to stay in California, but just previous years, I was having my lifestyle more traveling, guiding high school groups around the globe, mainly in Central and South America and Europe. And well, it arrived a point that I was studying when I lived, before California, I lived in Costa Rica. Then I studied metaphysics and spiritual sciences. And that was really transforming for me, like going deeper into myself, more into my psyche and working with energy and helping others. And yeah, I knew it was just the beginning of a path that I'm still in, and I feel it's starting with healing myself, and that's eye-opening, like being now in the world of Ayurveda, because I feel I still I'm gonna be studying for many years, I feel.
I hope so. Once you get the bug, there's no turning back, right? So, and it is, there's so much knowledge, so much wisdom, and so deep, so vast, like an ocean. They say Ayurveda is an ocean. So you can't drink the whole thing at once. You just drop by drop, right? And so, and it takes decades and lifetimes, some folks say. So when you were then in South America, was that when I know you do your shamanic medicine? Would you mind reminding us what it is your interests are in that realm? And is that when that came in, your shamanic medicine? Because you were a world traveler, you were getting into metaphysical information. You were studying biology. So when did that come about? The shamanic interests?
Yes, that's great thing, because it arrived to me. When I lived in Costa Rica, I met the local culture, that they were people that lived there from the beginning of times, and they got their own culture, and they drum, and they introduced me to some of their traditions. And I was already very interested. I felt like, wow, I'm just drawn to learn more about that. And it was not until the moment I went to California for first time, I went to Mount Shasta, and that's where I did a course, a master program in spiritual psychology and counseling. And in that course, they teach you like a lot of things. And one part of the program was like shamanic journeys and guiding, and how to go deeper in different aspects of yourself. And then one of the women in town, a very dear friend that's a shaman, she gave me her drum, and she was like, that's my time to give you the drum, because great spirit is guiding me to give you the drum. And then she gave me another drum, and I was learning with her during all the year I lived in Shasta. That's when mainly I was like connecting more with shamanism and learning more what it means. And it just took me to a new path that I really love, the way shamanism approach the inner discovery, the inner empowering of oneself. And last year I did 2 workshops in Santa Cruz with the Federation of Shamanic Studies. And yeah, and here locally there is a woman in Fort Bragg that she's a really good teacher too. I've been going with classes with her, and yeah, I feel very blessed. This is also part of my work I like to develop more and offer to people.
Amazing. That's so powerful. So it's almost like you got an initiation of sorts. And this was prior to Ayurveda initiation, in a sense. So this was this medicine, the subtle body, the spiritual, the psyche, the deep soul healing, we could say, was already coming into your world. So you studied with the 2 different folks in Shasta. You said also, you mentioned somebody in Fort Bragg. Do you want to maybe throw out her name here so folks that are interested can follow up on that?
Sure. Her name is Heather, and I think she was working with Center of Spiritual Living.
Okay. So no last name. If we could remember the last name, maybe we'll throw it in the notes or something.
Right. Yeah, it will be nice. I think it's O'Connell, if I'm okay.
O'Connor?
Yes, if I'm good with the spelling. Yes.
So then I'm curious, because you were versed in biology, so very deep in the Western, kind of micro looking at life, very the minutia of life and discovery at this very detailed level. Then you had this shamanic, very expansive, all connective experience, I'm imagining. And then what was lacking? What were your deeper soul yearnings, or maybe your mind? Not what was going on that really drew you to Ayurveda at that point? Then why Ayurveda then?
Yes. What I find fascinating is that Ayurveda, when you mentioned that is the study of life, it just connect me that, okay, I choose biology because it's the study of life. And I thought that was complete. Then, right, I studied so many years, like 7 with a master's degree, and like, oh, like so many studies and courses. And I love life. I love, of course, like looking at microscope. I've been fascinated with all this beautiful perfection of life. It's just that it was like parts missing. That's when I studied even my uncle offers courses in psychology, and I started when I was in my 20s, early 20s. And then during all these years and my travels and everything, I found, okay, that's like different, how to say, different works of different people, like say shamanism, say one is biology. They all together, you can have a practice, and it's great. It's just that I found Ayurveda that unifies everything in a sense, because also the last part of the program that we were working on the mind, on all the psychology part, I felt that's amazing, right? That because Ayurveda gives also a lot of weight to say like importance to the mind too, and that's what I found was missing in biology. That was okay, that's great. All the physiology and a lot of things that we learn, nutrition, and a lot of things we can learn in biology, but the mind was not seen as important, right? It was something else, maybe less touch. And Ayurveda touches everything. I feel like that's why I love it, and I find like it's fascinating that finally like one category of seeing reality as Ayurveda see it with the eyes of Ayurveda, you just touch all parts of life.
Absolutely. I love that. I love hearing that. And again, you're not alone. And I also felt that way when I finally came to Ayurveda. So I relate to that. I felt things were piecemealed apart. You know, I had studied different types of medicine, but there was no cohesive whole. So Ayurveda said to be like that umbrella medicine under which all of our passions, because we're multi-passionate healers. Ayurvedic folks, and some of you in the community who relate to this, we're multi-passionate healers because life is a multifaceted experience, right? That's not just our body, it's not just our mind, it's not just our relationships, it's not just our environment, you know, it's everything and anything. So I think you're not alone in relating to that, like, wow, under this one name is everything I love. So I'm going to go deep into this one thing, right? And then everything else opens up. So that's great, Marta. I love hearing that. Okay, and so you had this experience. You had gotten your master's in biology. Was it your master's in biology?
In marine sciences.
In marine sciences, okay, amazing. So you had studied lots of different aspects of life, and then the shamanism, and you're always drawn to these ancient wisdom sciences, and so Ayurveda felt like it's kind of bringing it all together. And then what was your experience? Let's take a look at that. Like, you know, where was the health of your body before Ayurveda? Let's just kind of break it down: body, mind, spirit. So starting with your body, where was your body before the program? So if you think back a year ago, approximately, you know, how was your sleep? How was your digestion? How was your immune system? Whatever was going on, levels of pain, etc.
Yes, because my lifestyle was very changeable, to say, because I was moving from country to country and not having a base. It was my body, mostly my digestion suffered because of that. Then I got a lot of acidity, and my stomach was blown. I feel I got these different symptoms of when someone moves a lot to and need different kinds of food, and I got parasites a few times, and it was difficult to get rid of them. Then I get rid of them. Then I got inflammation, right? And rashes
in your gut, the inflammation?
Yes, in my gut mainly. And I got better times, but I got like on and off from these experiences, my body was not maybe used or known how to deal with heat and parasites and traveling a lot and changing, like working in different time zones, right? That can make you like an impact on your health. And well, yeah, that affect my mood too. I feel like a lot of when I got digestive issues, my emotions were also changing, to say, like more maybe ungrounded, right? I can relate to that, more ungrounded, that relating to not feeling my feet touching the ground, like all these digestive issues, yeah, condition a lot my health, and not knowing how to arrive to an equilibrium for myself, right? Because then I think like that digestive situation was affecting my skin, and I got more rashes. Yeah, mainly it was that. Mainly it was that was affecting me. Even then, I didn't got awareness. I always knew how important was from spiritual teachings and yoga and to wake up early and go to sleep early. And I knew that. I practiced some pranayam before, but I didn't do it during my years that I worked traveling. It was not easy to keep a schedule on wake up early and do the pranayam and right or meditation. And yeah, that affect me. I just see how not having the schedule really affect my life.
So it sounds like rashes, on and off again, parasites, digestive inflammation, the general psychology, feeling ungrounded, maybe destabilized emotionally, maybe
Yeah.
just more sensitive, I'm guessing. And I've heard you mention this before, how Ayurveda has really grounded your life. Like you feel like your feet are on the planet for the first time in a while. So, and those benefits, you know, your routine and things like that. What would you attribute this, you know, the major benefits that you've gotten out of this program? Well, we were even just talking physically, and you got into a little bit of the psychology. While we're here, and before we get to what worked, do you want to dive in a little deeper, like with your psychology and relationships and where they were at pre life mastery, Ayurveda life mastery, and now having gone through that?
Yes, sure. I feel I got friends that were coming in and out, and colleagues at work that, of course, they were tour guides, and you see them for a month, you don't see them again, and people coming in and out of my life a lot. That was also part of my work. I had to travel, then I had friends all over. It just, you keep moving. Then people were, were keeping their lives. Like like observe how people like got their houses, their homes, like growing their food. And I wonder, wow, that will feel nice to be able to do that at some point in my life. I couldn't even see when. And that keep me always in the move, just like a lot focus on the future. I felt like a lot caught in like, okay, what's next, and this next part in my life. Then that was more difficult to be maybe like what I feel like now, that means being grounded. Yeah, I was really like living more in a fast pace. Even if I live with a lot of people, I learn a lot of things, that they live really connected to the earth. And I feel very blessed for all people I know in my life. Just that I was with another pace. I was moving from one place to another one. Yes, just different pace for sure.
So it's interesting how you worded it too, Marta, of like your potential, like the future, the possibility. Mm-hmm. And you know, as we learn in Ayurveda, we call it like ether element, all of this space and the potential. But mm-hmm. how at the beginning it can feel really amazing, right? And we can even get this traveler's high. And then depending on our constitution, right, we might be able to keep going for decades like that. where others of us, we might not be able to, right? So it's an individual thing. And then only you know when you're ready to stop looking to the future, in a sense, because it is that space, it can be really future oriented. It doesn't have to be, but it sounds like you really dropped into the present moment, utilizing kind of the earth element, grounding into your physical body in a physical home, growing your food, these kinds of things that are very physically oriented, right? As I like to say, very hobbit oriented, enjoying the present moment with, the senses and the earth. So tell us about that. Like, what's going on in your life now? Like, how does it look a little different, compared to when you started the program? What's different in Marta's world?
Yes, I think one of the big differences will be how I perceive reality, in a sense that being grounded, that means a lot of things, and putting the feet on the ground and breathing the now moment, and just being present. Wow, it just really make me enjoy things that I remember I always used to enjoy as a child, like just looking at the river and how, I don't know, like a leaf falls and moves, and like small things, right? Like being here and now. And also my pace just got like more in tune with nature. That's what I feel. I just observe few friends I have, like the fast pace that they have in their daily lives. And now I choose to go more with the rhythms of the earth. And I feel that's more beneficial for my health, and also my health in all senses, my mind, my emotions, even my physical body. It feels more at peace. I got glimpses of that when I lived in Costa Rica in my house, when I was in a house for a year, being a teacher. I was a science teacher and environmental education. And I was like, wow, I just got in tune with the cycles of the daylight, for example. And now I see the moon cycle differently. I don't know, it's like these details that now I observe, like, wow, it's getting full moon, and then you're in the same place, you see the change of the seasons, things that, wow, I don't recall, like long time ago, I could observe that. And within myself too, it's like this, I would say that pace, it's like the huge shift in me, because still like adjusting, I feel, because of course, like a year and all what I learned in a year that I will have to assimilate now. And it's amazing. It's just like so much, not just information, it's new habits, new routines, new herbs that are changing my life and changed my life already. It just, I know that like some things, they've been amazing because they shift slowly, like in the way it has to be, my awareness. And that's huge, Tracy. Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, and I love what you're saying too, because what I'm hearing, we didn't talk about it, but what I'm hearing from you, Marta, is your spirit feels very content now. Because we didn't say how was your spirit before the program, how was your spirit after, but just listening to you, watching you, even knowing you from before class, the beginning of class, and seeing you here now, it's like you present as a different person and before me, like literally a different person, energetically, physically, everything, psychologically. It's beautiful to witness your transformation. And I'm just wondering if you want to speak about that, the transformation in the spirit. Because again, if you had come in and it was about the potential of the future, that's very exciting. So there must be some kind of a hit, some kind of a fix, some kind of a high. And maybe it's not at all a high. Maybe it's more like a low, like a very positive low, like a grounding, a connection, a center centering. I'm wondering in your own words if you want to speak to that part of your spirit.
Yes, yeah, definitely. I feel, um, I think what I lived before the program was a lot of things like more up there, like a lot of connections, like a lot of visions, and I got great experiences and just going through like different like healing works and meditations and practices that I loved. It's just that I felt like, wow, how bring all that into reality. When I was reading about materialization, make your life, create your own life, and right, like all what we say we can do with our mind, and when our spirit manifests, because that's our life path, right? What we have to express in this lifetime. And I was connecting with that more and more, and I just realized how important was going to be for me to take care of my own body and start feeling my roots, being more in this world, creating my reality. Because of course I was I was experiencing great things, and most of them I got visions and they happened, and I'm so grateful for that. It just like were things that I felt like they needed to be tangible, that I had to experience. I had to take care of my body in a deeper ways to feel more here and now, to feel more nurtured, supported, like this care that had to come more from within myself, to say that, yeah, it was like a guidance from my spirit to be like, okay, now it's time to take deeper care of your own body, say like from all aspects of your life, because yeah, you work a lot and you're still working a lot of things. I'm working just that deeper parts and nurture on myself, on my own body. That's what I feel Ayurveda helped me a lot to see. Hey, that's also part of all of it. And then to feel this abundance of life, all these great things we are here to create in this lifetime, that was like a piece that now it's coming together. I feel like that's like, okay, wow, that's what means for me, like to be grounded. And it's like this call my spirit was telling me, like to, in a sense, like that cycle of traveling and not stopping and never putting my feet on the ground in one place, had to arrive to slow down, to let me have the doors open to these experiences I'm having now. And I got, thanks to the school of Ayurveda, of being more aware of my own health, my physical body too, and integrate that part. I feel like that was the integration of spirit with mind, emotions, and body, like all together. It's like this whole integration. I feel that's what I was looking for, and my spirit was guiding me to find a way to do it. And yeah, it just, everything resonates with me. That Ayurveda teachings are really resonant with questions I got, because of course with my research on study of life, I got so many questions. And like discovering Ayurveda slowly and step by step, I realized like, wow, that makes sense. Now I have an answer to this question, right? And yeah, a lot of amazing things to discover that I'm still super excited to know more about.
Well, and it sounds like you both, your vision, like your life vision, you mentioned a couple of times how you have had these vision and this possibility in the future. So it really sounds, what I'm hearing is it's becoming real. What we talk about in the program, bending reality more. You're learning how to bend reality by really embodying your spirit, by really giving a nice, hospitable, healthy domain, dwelling place for the spirit, for those visions to manifest what we would say the earth realm, because we do it elementally, of course, in Ayurveda. So it's like from ether, from heaven to earth, right? From ether to earth element, literally. So, and what has that been like? As far as, let's even say your top 3 favorite parts of the program that specifically really nurtured you, or that you really got a big aha moment or something kind of transformative from, what would those be? What are your even top 1 or 2? Let's just start there.
Okay, yes. I loved all the new areas we touch in the program. I just feel I really like when we start connecting all from the elements and the datus and how everything connects. And for example, when we see pathology in a human body, it's because of so many things. And that fascinated me. It's like, wow, okay, we have the elements within us, and then we have our channels, and then we have like how the mechanism of illness is created. It's just like I found fascinating to arrive to the point, and I have to dive even deeper to like see all the details. It just, I found that part like fascinating. I love learning of each one of them, like separated, of course. It's just like arriving to the point to see that some, I'm not gonna say any examples, but just basically how when we have a cold, it's more than just right, like a Western medicine will give you just like a painkiller or antibiotics, and then Ayurveda touches so much, right? Like open the channels, and we'll have to have these herbs and these spices combined to help make our body system to work and to get stronger, to get like back to our immunity, right? And look at all what's happening, and all the auto-observation that Ayurveda teaches you to be self-aware of why you have that, right? Like I've been more conscious about that, being more self-aware. Okay, I got that, why? And then I see myself, right? Look what happened if the channels are closed and you don't have your schedule, and that part is like this self-observation that yeah, that's been this haha moment, you say, for sure. That's a big one for me. Yes.
Well, that's so powerful. As I'm listening to you, Marta, I'm really realizing like how big Ayurveda probably has been for you, because you've got the spirit of a shaman and the mind of a biologist, the mind of a scientist. So you've got these two, they're not opposing worlds, they're actually intimately intertwined. And what it is, it's really the spirit, the shaman, and the physical, the biology. So I can see that both your mind and your spirit were really satisfied from the study and application of Ayurveda, right? It's kind of, so and as I'm listening to you, I'm like, I'm wondering how many in our community have those juxtaposed parts of themselves that are really strong parts of them, where they're really deeply scientific and like to probe the minutiae of life and go deep and understand how disease happens on such a very deep, vast level, and how our lifestyle, our environment, our relationships affect that, so that we can self-study and then prevent that next time, right? And not be perfect. It's not about being perfect, but it's about slow, gradual 1% improvements over time, getting us stronger and healthier. So it's like, I see your mind would be loving the Ayurveda science and theory, because Ayurveda is a very distinct science. It's one of the 3 approved by the World Health Organization, along with TCM and Allopat, Western medicine. But then at the other side, there is this it's an art form, and it's a very deeply spiritual, we're studying the spirit body, the spirit world, the subtle body, the effects of our thoughts and our mental state and our state of presence and awareness, etc., chakras, all of it. So as I'm listening to you, I'm thinking, no wonder she loves Ayurveda. She's not going anywhere. She's got the bug, because you're perfect for this. You're perfect for it.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Would you say that's true? Would you say relate to that? Yeah.
I definitely see that. Yes.
Mm. Yay.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah,
Yay.
so fascinating. Yeah, the last part of the program too, the herbs, it was also great. I'm just, wow, so much what they can do for you, and how spices combine. And yeah, it's like the alchemy of creating your products. It just has um, a lot of, it brings me so much excitement to create, like, okay, let's try that and see how I feel, right? It's just the excitement of trying, and how this herb will feel, and then you just see the effects. And yeah, that part is fascinating, everything, but that part also super exciting.
So the herbs, really, you love learning about the herbs and working with them and applying them and discovering them. The theory a lot, it sounds like. Was there other things outside of like even the psychology or the coaching aspects that really resonated with you? Because you know how it's the two-part program, the Ayurveda health counseling part, but then also the coaching, the life coaching. Was there anything in the life coaching that really supported you and where you had some big growth in any of that, or what was your highlights of that part, so to speak?
Yes, the coaching side of the program was great too, like having our Sundays together, and growing in Swadhyaya mornings, and then the self-reflection, and how then we work with partners, and we start like having our coaching like one-to-one, and practicing and just seeing the evolution of all our Ayurveda health coaching in practice, seeing how we were guiding other people basically, and we were seeing the effects, right, month by month when we were doing the practice. I felt that was very valuable, and also practicing with clients, and just seeing how that can help so many people to change their lives, and things that maybe they didn't have any solution for a long time. Then it can be like lifestyle thing, it can be like new diet, right? Like a lot of things that Ayurveda can guide. And like the coaching part, I feel it's essential to like how to approach a client, and what questions to ask. And yeah, it was a great way to work on that area, Tracy, too, with the work that we did like together, like Sundays. I felt like a lot of activities and meditations that you guide us through, they were really transformative, really great to work on ourselves, and of course help others. And I feel like that's the way to start. And yeah, so much to discover. And the coaching part, I love that part too. It just changed lives. That's what's great about coaches.
Great. And I remember you liking that and even saying that in the follow-up. You really enjoyed supporting people and seeing the results they were getting, and wow, this stuff works. Was there a specific part, like, you know, cleaning up your environment, working on your relationship with yourself, becoming your own best friend, time bending, like healing your core relationships, your love relationship? Was there any part of those types of things, discovering your life vision, your life goals, like your dharmic path more? What part or parts of that part did you specifically enjoy and get the most out of?
Yes, Tracy, it's fascinating. When I finally clearing the clutter, and the part of like environment, I was like for years carrying piles of information and my courses and a lot of things. I couldn't find a way to tidy them up. And yeah, it just came up the clarity. I feel like it's all together. It's like my schedule, like having regular practices of meditation and yoga, like all what I change in me, like my Abhyanga oil massage, the new practices help me to have this clarity and how to finally organize it. And just doing that, well, I spent like weeks sorting like also clothes and papers and books and stuff, and it felt really good because it's like an accomplishment for me. It's like, okay, finally I know, I can visualize in my head where all my meditations are and things that before I had no idea. I got like all things mixed up, and it was, yeah, just taking space away on right, we say how things have energy, and then yeah, that was not creating harmony. And the other part I like a lot was, yeah, clarity on my vision, setting goals and scheduling. It really helped, like having this huge calendar I have right now and writing down things I like to accomplish and just dividing them in small steps and setting goals. It really felt really amazing to when you find yourself accomplishing what you start like as a vision or as a goal, right? And for me, being able to do the workshop I envisioned was a great accomplishment, and the support of everyone, it was just great. It felt so amazing at the end, seeing yourself like, wow, I'm doing it, and having more self-confidence and all the qualities. I know that they happen because of all the growth I've been on the program. I know it's all linked together to feel more confident, more like capable of, like feel strong, and feel that all what's coming through me is what, as you said, the spirit. We are creating our vision from our dharma, from, yeah, a lot of things that we learn that they're so valuable, Tracy. I'm super grateful.
Oh. Well, it's been so wonderful to watch you walk through this, to fly through this, and to land. You flew and you landed. Oh, I really feel that. And I just listening to you now, it's reiterating that same thing we said before. It sounds like you've been doing this whole thing, which is from the inside out clarity, like you in from the outside in through your environment, but also just working on the clarity from the inside out. And then it just manifested for you through your schedule, through your goals, your ability to be able to achieve them. And then you became a time bender, essentially. You became a time bender where, wow, I did this shamanic healing workshop. During the program, during the 9-month program, you were able to visualize your vision, bring it, calendar it out, goal set, get really specific, and do all the things we are taught, and then it happened, and you had a group of folks that came through, and you were able to hold space for them. So you were the grounding force for them, and you brought your vision to reality. So that's amazing. That's one of the big reasons why the program was ever birthed to begin with, was to give the beautiful, creative, multi-passionate healer, visionary types like yourself the capacity to feel strong enough physically, to have the environment and the capability, the skill set needed to bring into reality their visions and their dreams. And you're doing it. So it's like, thank you, Marta, really, truly. So you're exactly, the type of person that this program was made for, designed for. So I hope to see more of that, from you and from the whole community. I know we will be seeing more of that from all of you, from all of us, just bringing the healing out into the world where it's needed most. So good for you, Marta. Wonderful. Do you have any, some people might be on the fence, like maybe they're traveling the world currently, they can relate to that, and they're like, how do I even begin to ground out to take this class? Do you have like one piece of parting advice that's like, just know that you can do this, and some way to kind of soothe their fears, to make them feel like they can do this? Some parting advice for them?
Sure. Yes. When you're in the move, it can feel that there is no way you can stop. Basically, you're just in the move. You just keep like moving, and I know how that feels because I've been there for so many years. what I will say is just like setting intentions. That will be the first thing. If someone is really drawn to learning more about themselves, learning more about healing others, learning more about helping the world, and they like to immerse in Ayurveda, I will say, yeah, set an intention, put a prayer, or yeah, write it down. First of all, I will suggest that. And however, like you like to do it, I feel like it's a way just to like put it out there. And then, yeah, it can happen that during the time that you're traveling, because you're offering the course online too, Tracy, I feel it's just a matter of organization and be able to set up, like, if it's like a Google Calendar, something that gives you a structure. In the meantime, you know, I know how it feels to travel, that you enter into different time zones and people has different traditions, then you might, yeah, having different times that you eat and that you have to move around. And but I feel it's completely compatible. Just now that we have this amazing technology that it's almost everywhere, we have Wi-Fi almost everywhere. I will say, yeah, just when things are clear and you have find a space to do it, just go for it. Even if you're in the move, like try to find a space and have your phone or your laptop and, yeah, a notebook you can carry with you to take notes, and that's it. That's it. We don't have to all be in one place. Some people, as you said, Tracy, they'll have, you know, is their life path to be moving around, and that's good too.
Thank you, Marta. That's really helpful. I know that you were not alone in being a traveler wanting to dive deeper with the program. So that's really common. I get that a lot. A lot of folks are traveling. They're like, can I do it from a distance? What am I doing? So that really helps to feel connected to you, that you did this, you know, and it's helped to ground you, settle you, and manifest your dreams. So, and so my next question, my last question is, where are you going from here? Where are you going? Are you going to keep, you know, is Ayurveda staying? Are you going to focus on your career path? What's the next kind of chapter for you currently?
Yes, I'll see myself studying more Ayurveda for sure. I already missed it this month. We don't have class. This year I'm gonna do the NAMA exam. I don't think as soon as I thought, because I like to study more in depth. And also I like to do the small courses. Tracy offers the Pulse course, and I'll check which other ones I can do and practice maybe with clients, because there is so much to learn. There is infinite things that can happen to a human being, right? And with your experience, Tracy, it's a blessing being by your side, learning and seeing how much you know. And it's not just know, it's how much you are an Ayurvedic doctor, I will say. I don't know how to express it. I feel it's how you live your life. It's a real example for all of us that's been close to you. And I feel very blessed to take courses with you, Tracy. And as much as I am in this area, I love to study with you. And of course, I love to do practitioner program. I think will happen next year. That I will love to do that, because yeah, with this path of Ayurveda, I see myself working more as my dream was when I was a teenager, helping others. Hopefully in a clinic in the future, maybe, I don't know how many years from now, but I see myself, I can do that. And I will aim for that. And in the meantime, yeah, I have my nonprofit working with teenagers, and I'm working on different jobs online. And yeah, on the meantime, yeah, I'll be studying and practicing, right? So much to practice, and try different herbs and different things. I'm still like on seeing how they feel in my body.
Amazing. So I'm happy to hear that you're going to keep your Ayurveda studies going. That's, yeah. My experience was the same. I told you all that with my teacher, my primary teacher, just never a class he offered that I didn't keep going with. And I do feel that because we can feel with Ayurveda that, oh, I need to stop and assimilate, but we want to just keep going. That's how we keep learning. So I'm glad to hear you're going to stay connected to the community. We love, of course, always love to have you in class. Yeah, the herbalist program, we're calling it Ayurvedic herbalist program now. So that'll happen next year. So we'll love to welcome you back with that. And we have the aromatherapy, the pulse course, which you mentioned. Massage course would be amazing for you too. That's a whole other level of self-healing and helping others with different hands-on Ayurveda. It's hands-on Ayurveda, which is amazing. I think those would be really powerful for many reasons for you and for a lot of folks. Wonderful. And where can we find you at? Your website again, and your healing practice, and where you'll be doing your shamanic workshops and things through?
Yes, sure. Now I'm doing a series of the elements. I will be doing them once a month.
Nice.
In Isis Healing Temple in Arcata.
Isis Healing Temple in Arcata. Okay, great.
Yes, I will be putting a flyer online in my Facebook page of Quantum Light Medicine.
Okay.
And
Quantum,
Quantum Light
medicine.
Yes. And I also like my website, it explains a bit how my sessions are.
Okay.
And my webpage is quantumlightmedicine.org. Okay. O-R-G, yes. And yes, for now, I think I like to keep doing these workshops with shamanic journeys and connecting with the different elements. That's what I'll start feeling that will be great to work on. And yeah, more in the future to come. I'll hope so.
I love that. I love you're doing the series on the elements. That sounds amazing, Marta. So our community is so lucky to have you. So please check Marta out at Quantum Light Medicine. Am I getting it right? .org.
Yes.
And also on Facebook, the same. So she'll be having her workshops here in Northern California in Arcata at Isis Healing Temple. And then also you can find out more through her website. And Marta, thank you so much for dropping by this afternoon. It's really been nice to connect with you more deeply here and hear more about your experience of the program. I look forward to having you back in classes later this year. And we'll see you all in the next video. And thank you very much, Marta. And we'll see you soon.
Thank you so much, Tracy. Always a pleasure, and so many blessings. And so happy to see you.
Oh, thank you, Marta. We'll see you soon.
See you soon.